Welcome to Dumaguete City, a place where history and culture blend seamlessly. Today we embark on a journey through time to explore the historical landmarks that tell the story of Dumaguete during World War II, a conflict that engulfed nearly every part of the globe from 1939 to 1945. Our first stop is this Japanese bunker in Barangay Piapi, Dumaguete City. Constructed during the Japanese occupation, this bunker stands as a silent testament to the turbulent times of the war. On May 26, 1942, Japanese forces occupied Dumaguete, holding it until April 26, 1945, when US forces, assisted by Filipino militia, liberated the city.
The main purpose of a Japanese pillbox is controlling. It's like a fortress that would store all the military equipment. That would include guns, supplies, and other supplies for the Japanese Imperial Forces.
Dumaguete played a crucial role in the US invasion of southern Negros towards the end of World War II. The liberation marked a significant turning point, helping to drive out Japanese forces from the region. This defensive position, or pillbox, located in Barangay Piapi, was part of the Japanese defense strategy. Though it sits on private property and is not preserved as a historical site, it serves as a poignant reminder of the past. This pillbox, if properly restored, could serve as a significant historical relic, drawing tourists to the city. Next, we visit a landmark near Silliman University, across from Negros Oriental State University. The plaque here reads, "Restored under the U.S.-Philippine Rehabilitation Act of 1946, by the United States Bureau of Public Roads and the Philippine Bureau of Public Works." This act was part of the efforts to rebuild and rehabilitate the Philippines after the war.
This was given by the Bureau of Public Works and Highway of the United States of America. So after the liberation of the Philippines from the Japanese occupation, but through the years it was abandoned, no? Walay pintal, no? When I was a student of NORSU, then Central Visayas Polytechnic College, I always see this marker when I go out from the campus, no? And walay pintal, well, nobody cares about that marker. When I became a history professor already in St. Paul University, I was teaching Philippine history and heritage tourism. And most of my students in these subjects are taking up BS Tourism Management. So I told myself, well, I'm teaching this subject, so let's make a project that would appreciate the student, appreciate nila. So one is, we call the Adapt a Marker project. And I started that in way back 2010. And until now, we are consistently doing the repainting of this marker.
This plaque near Silliman University symbolizes the collaborative spirit and the resilience of the Filipino people in rebuilding their nation. Have you noticed the unique design of the fence at Holy Cross High School? It resembles a Marston mat, a perforated steel planking used by the US military for rapid construction of runways during the war. This intriguing design hints at the area's wartime history. The Marston mat, or perforated steel planking, was a crucial innovation during World War II, allowing the rapid construction of airfields and runways. The resemblance of the Holy Cross High School fence to this material serves as a subtle reminder of the extensive military presence and infrastructure development in Dumaguete during the war. It also sparks curiosity about the hidden stories and contributions of local institutions to the war effort. Our journey continues to the Through Stop Street sign at the corner of Silliman Avenue and Maria Cristina Street. This pre-war street signage, originally installed during the American era, was recently restored after being struck by a vehicle. It stands as a rare reminder of Dumaguete's urban history before World War II.
It's the same. This was in the 1940s to the 1940s to be exact. No? Post-war era.
Next, we visit Channon Hall within Silliman University. On May 26, 1942, Silliman was occupied by Japanese forces and converted into a garrison. Channon Hall became the headquarters of the dreaded Japanese Kempe Tai, or military police, where many Filipinos were tortured and killed. The first floor was the torture chamber of suspected guerrilla spies. Torture was hanging head down and water hose pumping.
The main responsibility of the Kempe Tai was to serve as the police force in Dumaguete. So that, they are the ones in charge of investigating civilians, whether they are part of the guerrillas or not. And through their investigation, they use several brutal methods of torture. A lot of methods of torture. I do not know if you want to know about it, but there are several methods of torture used by them. One very infamous way of torturing them was through what they call as water cure. But when they did water cure, they placed a cloth sa baba, the mouth of the person. They let the person lie down, and then they just pour gallons of water until the belly of the person will engorge and hindi na gid siya makaginawa. So Channon Hall simply became a garrison for the prisoners who were arrested. So eventually they left that area and decided to choose the house of Ramon Teves Pastor.
Across from Caltex, we find the ancestral house of Ramon Teves Pastor, also known as the White House. Pastor, who served as mayor from 1912 to 1916, was instrumental in shaping Dumaguete. His legacy includes the inauguration of Manuel L. Quezon Park and the construction of the Rizal Boulevard breakwater. During the Japanese occupation, the White House, along with Channon Hall, was used as a torture chamber by the Kempe Tai.
During the war, the house was used in the early months of 1945. The house was used as the headquarters of the Kempe Tai. Now, the Kempe Tai is actually the military police of the Japanese Imperial Forces. It is likened to the Gestapo of the Nazis, or they call it as the secret police. So they are the ones in charge of maintaining a semblance of peace. They are the ones in charge of security in Dumaguete and also on Negros Oriental during the war. So if there were any problems, say on resistance movements and guerrilla movements within the city or underground movements against the Japanese forces, then the one in charge of trying to stop such a movement is the Kempe Tai. And that old house there was used by them as their headquarters in the early months of the year 1945. And these months were already they were quite significant in a sense that during this time, the Japanese already knew that they were losing, because in the early months of 1945, MacArthur during this time was already trying to invade Manila. He had already landed in Leyte, October 1945, 1944. The Japanese were already very desperate during this time. So as a result, many people were arrested and sent to that house. They were interrogated, investigated, and they were also tortured so that they would somehow screen on who were the other sympathizers of the guerrilla movement here in Negros Oriental.
Next, we visit the South Liberation Marker, located across Robinson's Dumaguete city. This is the landmark that honors Major Gallicano El Cibala and his men for their bravery in liberating Dumaguete on April 26, 1945. This marker commemorates the sacrifices made for the city's freedom. The South Liberation Marker commemorates the pivotal role of Major Gallicano El Cibala and his men in the liberation of Dumaguete. Their efforts were instrumental in driving out the Japanese forces and restoring peace to the region. The boulevard has been a witness to countless historical events and personal stories. It serves as a gathering place for locals and tourists, blending the city's vibrant social life with its rich historical legacy. The benches along the boulevard invite you to sit and reflect on the many tales of love, struggle, and resilience that have unfolded here. Our last stop is the Negros Oriental High School in Dumaguete City, has a long and proud history of providing education to the youth of Negros Oriental. However, its legacy was profoundly tested during the dark days of World War II. This is the story of how the school and its community endured and overcame the hardships of wartime. The Japanese occupation brought significant changes to Negros Oriental High School. The school was repurposed as a military garrison and headquarters by the occupying forces. Classrooms that once hosted eager students were now filled with soldiers and military equipment. Dumaguete's wartime history may not be immediately visible, but it is woven into the city's fabric. As we conclude our journey through Dumaguete's historical landmarks, we are reminded of the significance and importance of these sites in shaping the city's identity. These landmarks are not just remnants of the past, they are symbols of courage, resilience, and unity. They remind us of the sacrifices made by the Filipino and American people during World War II and the enduring spirit that emerged from those challenging times. We hope that these historical landmarks can be recognized as part of Dumaguete's cultural heritage, cherished and protected for years to come. May they serve as a reminder of the strength and resilience of the people of Dumaguete. As we walk through Dumaguete today, let us not forget the stories of courage and resilience that these places hold.